Today, live from Studio 1A, it's this year's Emmy host, Kenan Thompson. Then get ready to laugh with Danny DeVito and his daughter, Lucy. Plus, an incredible co-host, the man behind the #1 country morning show in America, Mr. Bobby Bones.
From Rockefeller Plaza in New York City, it's Today with Hoda and Jenna. It all starts right now.
Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday, September 6th. This is who I get to hang out with. You know him, you love him. If you love country music, you're in awe of him. And if you don't, I'm sorry. I'm just not used to it. TV and radio personality Bobby Bones, you're here.
Thank you. It's
Bobby. It's
back there. You were like Nick Saban to the team. To me, you're like, we're going to get him, we're going to go, we're going to run through a wall. That was Hoda to me right there. It was the greatest pump up I've ever had.
Do you know what he just said? He just saw Jacob Soboroff walk through, and he goes, what'd you say?
Oh, I said, I'm the Walmart version of him. I'm like the generic. He's all slick and cool, and I'm like, I'm the generic drug at the pharmacy of that guy. So
Bobby is here. You know, you guys, I don't know if you've heard Bobby Bones on radio, but you have such a unique way about you that you have kind of won yourself into the hearts of country music. And when you popped in, and that was I don't know how many years ago,
like 9 or so.
9 years ago. I mean, that was a tough road to climb. That wasn't an easy street for you.
Yeah, it's coming into something that has been so traditional.
Yeah.
Now, I'm from Mountain Pine, Arkansas, population 772.
Yeah.
Like, you get no more country, but also I grew up in the 90s where Napster happened, and I love hip-hop, and I love classic rock, and so I kind of infused it all together and said, I'm country, but people don't like change. You know, they don't.
Yeah, they want to keep it
But
the way it was.
the thing that I constantly do is promote authenticity. So you get it, even when I say I'm the Walmart version of. So
Jacob,
it's been really great. And this is so great to be here too.
Is it weird to be?
It's weird to be in this seat because I've sat with you.
Yeah, we sat together.
One of my friends, if I can tell a story about you for a second.
Oh.
One of my friends named Keaton said, I love Hoda so much. She watches every day.
Oh.
She said, I love Hoda so much. Is she nice in person? And my initial answer was, yeah, she's very nice. She's awesome, because you are. But then I thought, wait, I've got more to that story. So you won't remember this. But I have been here, and professionally, you're so kind, and you're extra with people like me who come in. Nobody knows who I am for the most part. Like, really, I'm not you. So once, probably 8 years ago, I was walking down the street in New York. Mm-hmm. Now, again, I'm from a small town in Arkansas. New York, Los Angeles, crazy to me.
Yeah.
Never even thought I would be here, much less work here, at times. And I always wanted to see a celebrity in one of the big cities. And I'm walking, and you're sitting at an outdoor restaurant, and you're having lunch. Now, there are 2 rules when seeing celebrities. If they're eating, don't bother them. If they have their kids with them, don't bother them. That's it. Otherwise, if they're in public, fair game. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I see you, and I'm like, that's Hoda. Oh, my gosh. So I waited for you to finish eating. Yeah, that's right. I'm a stalker. I'm a creepy. And then you got up and walking out, and I walked over to you, and I said, hello, Hoda. My name's Bobby. I'm a huge fan of you. And you spent probably 5 to 7 minutes with me. You didn't know I was in entertainment. I mean, I barely was. You just said, hey, where are you from? Hey, why are you in New York? Hey, let me recommend. You did that as a human to human. I've never forgotten that.
God, that's so touching. I'm so surprised.
So to the viewers who watch this every day, because I know Hoda feels like family to you, and I do this too, I wonder, are the people that I listen to or watch, are they as cool in person? I think we all wonder that. She's even better in person because she has more time than a segment. And that's a 100% true story that I've never got to tell until now, but you were, and it also has kind of inspired me to just always to be good with folks, regardless. So thank you for that.
That is the most beautiful thing that you just said. I'm so touched, deeply touched. I don't know why.
Oh, come here. Don't cry on me here, Hoda.
That was really sweet. But you know what? Here's the thing, because I think when people see you, and when you go to Nashville, there is like one radio host who everybody wants to talk to, and I know that because whenever I wanted to interview Carrie Underwood, I would look for a Bobby Bones with Carrie Underwood interview, because I wanted to see what she talked about when she was most comfortable, when she was put at ease, when she didn't feel like someone had a sledgehammer, when she felt like she was just sitting with a friend. And I always wondered, like, as I watched your interviews, I was like, how is it that people seem to open up? Like, what is happening? Because you could be sweet and kind, but it doesn't necessarily mean that someone's going to open up and really speak to you. So what do you think it is or was? Like, what is it that's happening there?
I think when I talk to people, I try not to, and you're great at this, but it's not talking at them. It's very much talking to them and finding a similarity. For example, if I were interviewing you.
Yeah.
You know, when you started your career, I don't think people understand this. Like, you drove around in a van, you finished school, and you drive around, and you get turned down by so many TV stations, right? And now we look at you as the great Hoda. Over 30 radio stations rejected me, right? And so I would talk to you about that because you had quite the struggle to just get started.
Did you really have 30?
Oh, yeah, I got so many no's. Did you really get?
Yeah.
Right.
I got all those no's. Wow.
And so it's finding the similarity because, and I think this is really a problem with our culture now, is we're not focusing on similarities at all. We're finding the small 3% of things we're different.
That's right.
And just going after them. And
That's
it's
right.
created this toxic culture now everywhere.
That's right.
So what I try to do is find, what do we share?
Yeah.
You feel comfortable, so now let me start asking some things that maybe you haven't been asked before.
You know, when you talk about the piece that's similar, so funny, someone was telling me the story about this couple that was they were in a horrible way in their relationship, and they went to a shrink, and the shrink said, well, what do you like about her? Nothing. What do you like about him? Nothing. Okay, where do you guys go to eat? You know, do you like a similar restaurant? Oh, no, I like Italian. Oh, I like Middle Eastern. He's like, what do you guys have, what do you like? And they go, pita bread. And he goes, pita bread. We're going to start with that. We're going to start with the one thing you have in common, and then we're going to work our way out. So it's kind of like
isn't that just a metaphor for what we should be doing now generally anyway?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I think here's the things we love, all of us. Probably pizza.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there are general, probably we've all needed something from someone. They've helped us, so we're trying to help other folks, right? That's a very common thing. We love weekends, right? Most people love weekends.
Yeah. Speaking about weekends, how was your Labor Day weekend? What'd you do?
It was pretty good. I mean, my wife and I went on vacation.
How long have you been married?
We just celebrated a year. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm surprised, too,
By
that
the way,
she's allowed it.
You guys are you're like a gorgeous couple. I did kind of stalk your Instagram, and I was like, what up with this entire, wow.
She elevates the group, right?
Wow.
Yeah. The average goes up because of her. Yeah, and she's, the weird thing about her is she's also funnier than I am. Like, what I get celebrated for, she's better than me at.
Oh, she is.
And so everything. And she's actually she picked out my suit.
By
She
the
does
way,
it all.
she's on point.
She styles me. She's funnier than me.
Is she watching right now?
She's actually standing somewhere back there.
Where?
Oh, she is back there.
Wait, she's here?
She's here, yeah. There she is, right there.
Oh, my God. I didn't even see you. Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You guys are the most gorgeous couple ever. Did you just know right when you met Bobby, like he was the one?
Yeah. Sure.
She gave a thumbs up. She's not Mike, but wow. What an amazing couple.
We came back from our weekend, and now we're here. We traveled up here, but nothing, terribly exciting for the weekend. What about you?
You know what? We do basic stuff. We did like a lemonade stand with the kids. It was kind of like the wind down of summer, but I learned something about myself that I did not realize until I heard myself on video doing this. So my kids were in these little kid running races. Like the 5-year-olds run together, the 3 and 4s run together. So I was just
like foot racing. Oh, there they are there. Yeah.
So I'm just taping them. I'm like, yay, yeah. So I go back and listen to the audio. There's hope. I am screaming like one of those crazy, I'm like, get it. I'm like, Jets on, Jets, go. Like, I'm screaming as if this is an Olympic race, and it reminded me. I'm crazy, but it reminds me, if you've ever played any sport ever, that bubbles up inside you. Like, I remember being down 5 points with 15 seconds left playing on the Fort High School basketball team. I'm like, we can win it, and here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to get fouled. I'm going to make it. I'm going to hit the 3. We're going to miss the... Like, I had the plan, so I believed in my soul that it could be done.
It sounds like they're competing for a scholarship with your passion there. Like, they're already trying to get that deal.
And I was like, did she get 3rd? Because 1st, 2nd, and 3rd gets a medal. I mean, what am I doing?
Did she get 3rd? And she's like, how old is she again?
She's 5. I'm so, but I just gotta remember, like, we're all in it for fun. It's just.
Did she get
fun.
3rd?
She got 3rd.
And then what did she do with the medal, though?
She kept it. We put it in a Ziploc, and she wanted to keep it. And Hope got one because everyone gets one when you're really super little. So we kept
Well, congratulations to you for your medal. That's what it is right there. Congratulations.
Coming up next, we are putting 3 Plaza fans to the test with a really fun game.
And we'll find out if they can spot the snake in the grass after this.
Hey everyone, I'm Tom Llamas from Top Story on NBC News Now. Every night, Top Story is your news playlist. We take you to the front lines of the story where it's actually happening with NBC News journalists on the ground from all over the world. We cover what you need to know and bring your newsfeed to life. And now, Top Story is available as a podcast, so you can listen anytime and anywhere. Subscribe now for new episodes every weeknight.
Desire, deception, and a double cross. A deadly love story only Dateline and Keith Morrison can tell.
It's a story about a woman who needed her husband dead. If only she could find someone man enough to do it.
The Seduction. Listen to the full season now.
We're back, guys. It's a Tuesday morning. Bobby, in addition to everything you do on radio, you happen to be doing another show on our sister network on USA. It's called Snake in the Grass. What is it, for those who haven't seen it yet?
Basically a social experiment to see, do you really know who's lying? We always think we can tell who's lying, but it's that, and we're also putting you through strenuous things to see if that helps break you as well.
Where do they shoot this?
And we're in Costa Rica for 5 weeks at a Holiday Inn near the airport in Costa Rica. Let me tell you.
Okay.
TV seems a lot more glamorous than it is. Hold up.
All right, so should we play our little version of it?
I would love
All right, let's
to.
play Snake in the Grass. All right, so now what are we doing here?
Okay, so what we're going to do is we have some friends here that we don't know yet, but we met them during the break. They're amazing.
Yeah.
And they're going to figure out who's lying.
Okay.
You or I. So we're going to have a story. And
All
that's
right.
it.
Okay, so here you guys are from our plaza. We have Darlene from Elizabeth City, North Carolina, along with sisters-in-law Rebecca and Gloria from Logansport, Louisiana.
Welcome, guys.
All right.
Here's how it's going to work.
Okay.
Both Hoda and I will both tell you a story from our lives.
Okay.
Okay, so this is us, like real life stuff.
Yeah.
One of us is going to be making it up. So you're watching us, and you will each get to ask a question after we're done to kind of press us to see, can he follow that up, or can she follow that up? If you three are unanimous and who the liar is, you'll each win $500. Boom. That's right.
Okay.
So, Hoda, I'm going to let you go first with your story.
Since we were talking about sports, I'm going to tell you my sports story. So I was playing high school basketball, and we were down, God, I don't know, 40 points maybe. It was a terrible game. It was the worst. And I was dribbling the ball down the court. I was like, I've got to score something. And a girl stole the ball from me, and I was flat on my back. I was embarrassed. It was horrible. So I grabbed her by the ankle and pulled her. And my mom got up in the stands, and her mom got up in the stands, and it was almost a situation.
It's a good story. True or false? That's a money story. That's good. Okay.
Any questions? Any follow-ups?
Yeah, let's ask a
What
question.
position did you play, Hoda?
I played forward. Good question. Any other questions?
Did you get a technical foul for that?
No, I did not get a technical foul.
And what was the name of the other team?
T.C. Williams. Wow.
Okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I hope my memory's right.
Pretty good.
Ish. Okay. All right, Bobby, it's time for your story. Let's hear Bobby's story.
Okay. You guys probably know, it's been printed many times. Ryan Seacrest and I are second cousins, and we worked together on American Idol for 4 years. And so I actually wasn't working on Idol, but since we are similar looking, they asked me to go be a stand-in on Idol, and that's where that started. I was doing radio in the evening, and I was working at a marina earlier in the day, and Ryan was like, hey, we need someone that can be a stand-in as they do camera angles. So I was there, and I slowly moved up, and then I became the guy on the show. Okay, there's my story. Why are you turning that? Go ahead. Come on, I see you looking at me sideways.
Okay, so when did American Idol start?
I have no idea. I guess if I was a liar, I would give you a better answer. If I were guessing, I was in 99, 98, something like that. I wasn't on then.
Okay.
I came later, yes.
Where was the marina at?
Lake Ouachita in Mountain Pine, Hot Springs, Arkansas. And I filled boats up, barges. I filled barges up, and I did ice all day long. So you go into the machine, you put a little blue tally on it, you do the ice, and those are the two things I did.
All right, guys, it's
Who
time.
was the last
Oh, we got to go. So, yeah, the answer
Time to vote.
B. The answer's B. Okay, let's vote. Who do you think is the liar? Is it Hoda or is it me? Go on up and let's put it on in here. You want to make it, whoever it is, do
You
it
guys have to
frontward?
be unanimous, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? They have to be unanimous?
Put it frontward, yes. If it's unanimous, they win.
Okay.
All right.
So this is who's not telling the truth, who's lying?
Yeah, this is the liar.
Okay.
Okay, let's open the first one here. The first person they think is lying is Hoda. The second person that they think is lying is Hoda. If this is a true story from you, I've lost faith in humanity, Hoda.
Oh, no.
You, although I did hear you yelling at your kids to run faster, so. Hoda. Okay, so you all three think Hoda's the liar here. So what we'll do on the show, which USA, every Monday night, please watch. I'd like to have my job, please. The snake stands up. So will the real snake please stand up? It was me. I'm not related to Ryan Seacrest. I'm my friend, but I'm not related.
Oh, don't worry, you guys get T-shirts. I know
thank
you
you.
I'll
take it.
But you know what? Wait a minute. Why don't we just give him $500? All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for playing, y'all. We love you. That was fun. By the way, what a fun game.
That's fun.
Oh, my God. Make sure you catch Bobby on Snake in the Grass, Monday nights 10, 11 on our Central on our sister station, USA. Again, 11, 10 Central.
All right, coming up, the next host of the Primetime Emmy Awards, Kenan Thompson, right after this.
Our next guest is already a legend in comedy. And right here on the Halls of 30 Rock, he's SNL's longest-running cast member. You're so weird.
You are.
Ever.
Yeah, he's already doing like hand motions, and I like it. In only 6 days, Kenan's hosting the 74th Annual Primetime Emmy Awards, airing right here on NBC. Kenan, welcome.
Welcome, Kenan.
Good morning.
All right,
Thank
here
you.
we go. You got a big show coming up.
Big show.
You got butterflies, or you
big
just kind of
month.
cruise into this?
I feel it for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely on my mind, and now we're inside the week of it, so it's coming up on Monday. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to get it done.
Are you dreaming about it?
Yeah.
Like literally go to sleep because you're thinking, do you dream that maybe you're naked on stage or
late.
All those things are like
that's
common
the one.
dreams, yeah.
Late or forget something, you know what I mean? Like I don't have a suit, or like, you know what I mean? Like
So do
any
you
kind of
like rehearse and rehearse? How does it even work to host the Emmys?
Yeah, we're gonna rehearse. I think all weekend probably, just to make sure it's tight. I mean, I think for me it's mostly about the beginning of it and nailing the monologue and whatever the opening is gonna be, and then throughout the rest of the night, like the bits will play like with other people, and then like it'll be a quick thing in between most of the rest of the night type stuff. So it's all about the beginning. And yeah, that's what I've been like really focusing on.
Will you change during the show? Meaning, are you guys leaving it open to if you need to change, especially in the monologue-ish part? Now, I know you're doing a musical number, and there are a lot of sketch-type things, but are you leaving room to, if we need to change a joke, we can do it right before the show?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to. I mean, that's anything with any kind of like live element. You have that opportunity, so you should take it. You know what I mean? Like, if we want to switch a joke, let's just make sure everybody is aware of it. So, like, if I'm using a prompter or whatever, if I don't have it like right off the top of my head, then it'll be there in the new wordage that we
The new
all want.
wordage.
Yeah.
I like that.
New wordage.
Okay, so SNL's getting ready to fire back up. So when this starts again, because you've been doing it for
This is 20.
20. I just wanted you to say.
Yeah, this is 20.
Oh my gosh.
20.
Do you
Maintain.
do you remember your audition with Lauren Michaels?
Absolutely.
And what happened?
Look at the Black Eyed Peas.
the Black Eyed Peas.
What happened?
Yeah.
I was, highly frightened.
Yeah.
Look, shout out to Zoe. Nice. But it's a very surreal experience, because it is so beloved and known and famous and popular or whatever. But not being a New Yorker, I didn't know what to expect.
What
so
was
you
your
walk
bit?
in.
What'd you do?
I opened with a phone conversation between Al Sharpton and Arnold Schwarzenegger for some reason.
How'd it go?
I don't remember. He was, like, Schwarzenegger was having problems with, like, water or something at that time, like, kind of similar to what's happening now. And, like, Sharpton was to the rescue for some reason. But, yeah, I don't remember exactly. But I remember being, like, super awkward and just starting with the sound effect of a phone call. And doing that in a comedy club did not transfer. Like, when I did it in the studio, it was like, oh, that's kind of what we do. But in the comedy club, I skipped the whole, like, how's everybody doing tonight? You know what I mean? Any of that. So, yeah, it was just, like, weird and awkward. But, I made it through.
20 years later.
Yeah.
You've been consistent in my life as being funny, right? All that, Kenan and Kel. As I go through SNL, and I think about how you've kind of always been there. So, here I am. I was born in the 80s, but I recognize you for those shows. If an 80-year-old grandma recognizes you, what does she know you from?
80-year-old grandmas, I think, know me a lot from the Nickelodeon days, you know, and they were probably like hands-on with their kids and like watching kind of over their shoulders and then finding themselves kind of watching the entire show as well, you know what I mean? Like those shows were very like generational kind of viewing, you know, which was very cool. Like every time I would hear that, oh, I watched this with my entire family, like that makes me feel good.
Real quick, let's go through a couple. We're doing a little thing we're calling Seenin' with Keenan. We're going to put up a photo real quick. Just tell us about it. We just have a couple of seconds for each one. But
okay.
Here's first up. We got, oh, yeah.
Family Feud.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one where Tracy and Leslie were in a relationship and Tracy had a new family. That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
All right, what's the next one? We got...
Oh, Lobster Diner, the very first, I think, Broadway musical celebration series of things that Mulaney brought to the show when he would host.
Okay.
And that was the first one. It was great.
And here's the last one.
Oh, something close.
Something close.
Everybody gets something. My Instagram pic, by the way, still to this day.
Wait, everybody
like
gets something?
profile.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, something close. And that was just me and Brian Tucker having fun. He was like, I feel like there's a version of Santa Claus where it's just a different guy and he kind of wants everybody to get something, even if you're on the naughty list. So that was a fun day. Coldest day in the world we had to shoot on that day. And of course, I felt sorry for Cecily and Sashir because they were in like elf outfits. Yeah, that was a hard one, but that was a very fun one.
Well, we wish you such good luck at the Emmys. You're going to be great. You're going to kill it. We'll be watching you, honey bunch. You can catch Keenan hosting the Primetime Emmys live Monday night, 8 Eastern, right here on NBC.
Okay, coming up, woman who changed the course of civil rights forever. Miss Ruby Bridges, next. It's that time of year. Kids all over the country are headed back to school. But for Ruby Bridges, her first day of first grade changed the course of history.
We are going to catch up with the civil rights icon in just a moment. But first, let's hear a little bit of her story in her own words outside of the very same school building where she made history 62 years ago. Take a look.
We'll boycott any school that is integrated.
I feel like I remember everything, even though I was 6 years old. I think that if anyone had actually gone through that as a child, that you would never forget it.
On November 14th, 1960, Ruby Bridges became the first African-American child to integrate William Franz Elementary School in New Orleans.
I remember the federal marshals knocking at the door and me standing there and wondering who they were. My parents never explained anything to me. I was only told that I was going to go to a new school and that I needed to behave. There were people lining the streets, and I remember that they were chanting. There were police officers. They were on horseback and motorcycles. I really felt like we had stumbled into the middle of a parade. I don't particularly feel like my life is my own, that it was destined to happen.
Now, Ruby is sharing her experience in a brand new children's book.
I think that 6-year-old is still inside me, and she has a voice. If we're ever going to get past our racial differences in this country or in the world, that it's going to come from our children. They come into the world with a very special gift, and that's a clean heart, a fresh start in life. This incident actually changed the face of education across the country, and that I had a role in that. I had a bigger calling on my life.
Welcome, Ruby. It's so great to see you. The book again. It's I Am Ruby Bridges. Boy, Ruby, when you talk about a calling, it's so funny because when you read this book, it's through the eyes of a 6-year-old, and you totally understand that she's looking through with clean eyes. She doesn't understand that there's hate all around her. What made you decide to write it in this perspective?
There's so many other books that I've written, but I wanted to write this one from my voice and reach kids sort of where they are right now, especially that age group, 4, 5, 6 years old. I mean, it's really hard to explain something like racism to a child at that age. But most kids understand the loneliness, someone not wanting to play with them, not really giving you a chance, to make friends. And that's what I was feeling at the time. So I wanted to reach them there, and I think they get it. I really do.
You know, it's an honor to meet you right now. So first of all, it's great. But you know what was great about the book was meeting you then.
Yes.
And to read a kid's book, first of all, meant for a kid, however, I'm reading, and I'm an adult man, and I felt like I was meeting the 6-year-old you. And that is what touched me so much, because you walk us through. I think adults should read this book. I know it's a kid's book, but I think adults should read this book because, one, you're learning, and, you know, so we don't make the same mistakes twice. We try to learn, you know, what happened then. But as a 6-year-old, I'm meeting you. But as a 6-year-old, what do you remember about that actual day?
Oh, my God, everything. I mean, I'd already gone to school for kindergarten, an all-black school. I mean, that was the law then. I thought I knew what school was like until I went to this school. And I was expecting lots of kids to be there. When I got in, people rushed in behind me. They went in and took their kids out and left that day. The second day I arrived, the school was totally empty. And so for almost a year, I was trying to figure out, why is the school so different?
Why are they leaving me? Yeah.
You know?
And there were you saw no kids in the halls, no one around.
No one.
I had the privilege, Ruby, of interviewing you a long time ago in New Orleans, and I remember that day very clearly when you walked through the door, and I thought, she's so young. I can't believe this has happened in this short time period.
Yes.
And when I see those angry people outside screaming and yelling, you know, 2, 4, 6, 8, we don't want to integrate and all that stuff, did you ever hear from anybody, any of those people, because you lived in New Orleans, and did anyone ever say, look, I was out there and I'm sorry, I don't know what was happening
As a matter of fact, I had an opportunity to visit a church in Dallas, and the pastor introduced me to one of his members. And he said, you know, I've changed my life. The only thing that I felt like I had not made right is meeting you and apologizing. He said, I was 17. Friends came over and asked me if I wanted to go to a protest. I ended up in front of your school, and my picture is in one of your books, and I want to apologize. I am so sorry.
How did that sit with you?
You know, it was amazing to hear him admit it, and to see his face then and then in the photograph. But the truth was, I said to him, you know, there's nothing for me to forgive. I didn't see you. I don't know you. I never thought about you. You know, a lot of times what people have to understand is that forgiveness is really for yourself.
Right.
And that's what he needed for himself.
He needed it for himself. Wow.
Yes.
What a moment, though.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was pretty powerful.
Yeah. Well, Ruby, this is really cool, and you've got something else that you're busy working on in New Orleans, an academy.
Yes, and the one thing that I'm really excited about is Ruby Bridges Walk to School Day. A group of very young activists, 5th graders, declared in California, November 14th, Ruby Bridges Day. And I thought, well, if I'm going to have a day, what do I want that to be? What I want it to look like? And we all know that Dr. King's day is a day of service. I want mine to be a day of dialogue. So when kids walk into school, they talk about how they can make a difference in the world.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Aren't you so happy?
I'm moved by. I mean, the book is the book is so good, and again, all you adults, you need it too.
Yes. Yeah, we agree. You can get your own copy of Ruby's book at today.com/shop. Again, it's called I Am Ruby Bridges.
Yes.
Which I love the book. I come from a racially diverse school. I'm going to buy the book for over 100 of them for the elementary school and send it to my school.
Thank you.
So I was that moved by it.
Yeah, well, you know, it's hard for us to talk about racism to our kids, but this is a tool that you can use.
Cool.
Coming up, the duo you didn't even know you needed in your life, Danny and Lucy DeVito. Next.
Hey, everybody, it's Savannah Guthrie.
And I'm Hoda Kotb, and we've got some great news to share.
The Today Show is now available wherever you get your podcasts.
Can you believe that? Right now, you can get your daily dose of news and headlines and the day's top interviews from us right here every single morning.
We have what you need to start your day, and it's available every day, wherever you get your podcasts.
So why not subscribe and follow Today to start listening?
Hello there, I'm Chuck Todd, and if you love Meet the Press, I have some great news. You can also get a daily dose of politics, news, and expert analysis on our new show, Meet the Press Now. Every day, we'll go beyond the headlines to explain what's happening in politics, how we got here, and why it matters. We'll also talk to folks from both sides of the aisle about the issues this country faces and how what's happening in Washington impacts all of us. You can watch Meet the Press Now every weekday at 4 p.m. Eastern streams free on NBC News Now, and it's available on all streaming platforms.
One thing we know for sure, Danny DeVito is a living comedy legend, from Taxi to Batman Returns to Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
And he's a dad of 3 kids, one of whom is sitting next to him today, Lucy DeVito. Danny and Lucy have teamed on a new animated show that is super funny called Little Demon. In it, Lucy plays a young girl who finds out her dad is Satan. That's correct. Satan.
Lucy, is that a stretch, Lucy?
No, I'm really pulling from life here, so it's really working well. Yeah.
I'll say this: we were underneath, in the little room. What's that called? Like a dressing room?
Yeah.
And some guy yells at me, "Hey, you need to fix your suit." And I was like, "Oh, there must be a tailor." It was Danny. And he pulls me in. He's like, "This is not a good crease." This is.
Danny, what's up with the suit? What's wrong?
Well, that's the thing that the devil does. I look at all the creases. I look at all the things. I don't know. I was just looking at the way the button was and the way it was hanging. I thought,
not quite right?
No, right, not right. But see,
now we're good.
It's a great suit.
You look great.
Now we're good.
Awesome.
So what is it like, you two working together? Danny, we'll start with you.
I just adore working with Lucy. We've been working together since she was this big. No, but seriously, she's always, she loves acting and loves the theater and loves movies, and that's what I love. And so it's really great that kind of falls into place. Same thing with our son, my son, Jake, who's our older brother, who's producer on the show, Little Demon. And so we've been, for the past couple of years now, because of the pandemic and everything that was going on, we've been working really, really close with all the actors. Aubrey Plaza's in it, and everybody on Zoom doing it. And we're just having a ball.
Lucy, to cast Satan, just in general.
Yeah.
Was there ever a second choice?
No. I mean, this is the part he was meant to play. It's
born to play this
it was
part.
born to play the part. No, I mean, it was. We've been looking for something to work on together, and animation was a really fun way in of discovering this new world. And our friends came up with this idea, Satan and the Antichrist, who is a 13-year-old girl, and that tracks, sort of. So we have a really fun time. It's a comedy, we're it's animated, it's adult, it's crazy. And we just have fun with it.
Danny, was she always funny, Lucy, since she was little?
Yeah.
Like doing what kind of?
Serious, but very funny.
Oh, serious. But
like lots of nuances.
Hey.
But really good, really good. But, yeah. You see, and we've always. From one of the first movies I ever did, she was on the set with the nanny, and she was in the nanny's arms. Maria was in the thing or somewhere in the. And I was doing a shot over and over again, and I do the shot. It would last 10 seconds, and I'd yell cut, and I did it about 8-9 times. And the last time I did it, the kid. She was 3 months old. She yelled "cut."
What?
It was like
first
really,
word.
yeah, first words.
I was born into it, really. I was born into it.
Well, you guys, this is a super funny show. I mean, people are going to love it. Bobby said he was laughing so hard he was
we're
shaking.
having a great time.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, Little Demon airs Thursday nights on FXX and streams the next day on Hulu. Do not miss the DeVitos in this. Bobby, it's not over. Tomorrow you're coming back, all right? You cool with that?
Thank you.
We look forward to that. We also want to mention quickly this month's pick for her Read with Jenna Club is a book called Solito by Javier Zamora. Pick it up.
Coming up tomorrow, the hilarious Jan Krakowski, you're the pro. And we're also whipping out some jerk shrimp with David Rose.
All right, and also a cool performance by Bobby Pick coming up. See you tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Tom Llamas, and for me, the news is so much more than a headline. It informs, it inspires, and it still matters. To cover it, you have to be in it. And that's what my show is going to do. We'll take you to the front lines of the story, where it's actually happening, with NBC News journalists on the ground from all over the world. We cover what you need to know and bring your news feed to life. In primetime and streaming live, it's your news playlist. Join me for Top Story, weeknights at 7 Eastern on NBC News Now.